It's well documented that Showtime and Paramount love how successful Dexter is. The series has been one of their crown jewels for nearly 2 decades, so much so that they've produced 4 different shows centered around this one character. There's something endlessly fascinating about the titular serial killer. Dexter Morgan isn't just a murderer. He's a killer with a code, a man who channels his dark urges into something that feels, if not noble, at least understandable. He kills bad guys, monsters who prey on others. But even that simple idea becomes complicated fast, and that moral ambiguity is what makes Dexter so compelling. He's a man divided between light and dark, a character who walks the razor's edge between justice and evil. In many ways, Dexter's story mirrors the archetypes of pulpy superhero tales. Heroes with double lives, secret identities that violently collide, villains who push them to their limits, and an ever-present question of whether they're doing more harm than good. But unlike comic book heroes, Dexter's world is drenched in blood and consequence. Every choice he makes ripples outward, tearing at the fragile balance he tries to maintain. Showtime struck gold with the original Dexter series, which ran from 2006 to 2013. The show became a cultural phenomenon, capturing audiences with its unique blend of crime thriller, dark comedy, and moral introspection. Even when the final season divided fans, it didn't diminish the fascination people had with the character, and that fascination has never really gone away. Each new generation seems to discover Dexter through streaming platforms and social media, keeping his legacy alive. So it's no surprise that the Dexter franchise has become a cow worth milking for almost 20 years. Between the original show, the revival Dexter, New Blood, the prequel Dexter, Original Sin, and the upcoming Dexter Resurrection, this one character has carried an entire television empire on his shoulders. But even with that success, there are limits. The recent cancellation of Dexter Original Sin Season 2 by Paramount's new ownership shows that no matter how popular a property may be, business decisions can still cut its life short. It's especially strange considering that the show was critically well received and managed to draw a solid audience on Paramount+. However, Dexter Original Sin wasn't the first attempt to explore Dexter's early years. Back in 2009, Showtime tried something experimental, a series of animated web shorts called Dexter Early Cuts. They were short, stylized, and released online as promotional material for the upcoming seasons of the main show. Narrated by Michael C. Hall himself, they offered a glimpse into Dexter's earliest kills, the formative years that shaped the monster behind the mask. Dexter Early Cuts ran across 3 short seasons released in 2009, 2010, and 2012. Each installment had a distinct look and tone because each was handled by different comic book illustrators and writers from the main series. The result was a haunting, graphic novel-style series that almost felt like watching moving pages come to life. Think Max Payne cutscenes mixed with the eerie atmosphere of Dexter's Miami Nights. Each season told a self-contained story about one or more of Dexter's kills, diving deeper into his ritual and psychology. The writing team included longtime Dexter writer and producer Scott Reynolds, ensuring that even though the format was different, the soul of the character remained intact. The visuals changed from one season to another, reflecting different moods, some stark and gritty, others dreamlike and surreal. The art direction helped reinforce Dexter's fractured inner world, where logic and bloodlust intertwine in uncomfortable harmony. Writer Lauren Gousis once explained in an interview that the animated format gave the creative team more freedom to go darker, more twisted than live-action TV could allow. They could explore taboo subjects and moral extremes without worrying about network constraints. One of the standout stories features a US sniper who returns home from overseas after having killed a child during service. The weight of his actions makes him a perfect target for Dexter's code. This particular story is monumental because it marks the first time Dexter takes a bloodslide as a trophy, a chilling milestone in his evolution. Despite being animated, Early Cuts manages to capture everything fans love about Dexter: the dark humor, the methodical planning, and the bursts of disturbing violence. Michael C. Hall's narration ties it all together, even throwing in the occasional silly voice when Dexter disguises himself. It's strange, unsettling, and somehow funny in the way only Dexter can be. The first season of Early Cuts features multiple victims, each representing a lesson or test for Dexter. The later seasons focus more on singular villains, formidable foes who push Dexter in new ways, like a copycat killer who lacks any moral code at all. Without giving too much away, these short stories pack surprising twists and turns that rival the best moments of the live-action series. They show us a younger, more reckless Dexter who's still refining his code and learning how to balance his impulses with the lessons his adoptive father, Harry, taught him. Even though Early Cuts is not officially considered canon, it still fits surprisingly well within the Dexter mythology. Sure, there are small inconsistencies here and there, timeline quirks, minor differences in how certain events are portrayed, but none of them really break the illusion. Fans generally accept it as a side piece, an experimental project that adds flavor to the main story. If Dexter: Original Sin had continued, it likely would have overwritten much of Early Cuts. The writers probably wouldn't have confined themselves to an old Flash-animated web series from 15 years ago. But even if the continuity doesn't perfectly align, the creative ambition behind Early Cuts deserves appreciation. It proved that Dexter could work outside of traditional television, that his story was strong enough to transcend mediums. Watching Early Cuts today feels like rediscovering lost lore. Each short episode may only last a few minutes, but they're packed with atmosphere, tension, and insight into Dexter's psyche. They're a perfect appetizer for fans waiting for Dexter, Resurrection Season 2, or whatever new chapter comes next. It's remarkable how even after all these years, the franchise still finds ways to reinvent itself. And Dexter: Resurrection is a testament to that. While we don't know everything about the new series yet, early reports suggest it aims to revive the darker, more philosophical tone of the original run. Michael C. Hall's portrayal remains the anchor that holds this entire universe together. His voice, his expressions, and his ability to humanize such a monstrous character are what made Dexter endure. The Dexter universe has always existed in shades of grey. Every spin-off, every adaptation, whether it's a web series, a prequel, or even comic books, adds another piece to the puzzle. Speaking of comics, there are 2 official Dexter comic books published by Marvel, written by Jeff Lindsay, the creator of the original novels. These comics don't connect directly to the TV universe, though. They're extensions of the books, which themselves diverge from the show after Season 1. That makes them feel like an alternate universe, where Dexter's path unfolds differently. It's fascinating to see how one character can splinter into so many forms: novels, TV series, comics, and even animation. And yet, no matter the medium, the essence remains the same. Dexter is about control versus chaos, morality versus monstrosity. It's a story about a man who tries to find purpose in his darkness and ends up discovering that his greatest enemy is himself. There's also something deeply ironic about Dexter's success as a franchise. It's a story about a man hiding his true self behind a facade, and yet the show itself has evolved the same way, constantly shifting identities to survive in an ever-changing entertainment landscape. From Showtime's edgy prestige drama to animated experiments to Paramount's streaming reboots, Dexter's adaptability mirrors his own. And that's probably why the franchise continues to resonate. It's not just about the kills or the blood. It's about the human struggle underneath it all. We see ourselves in Dexter's constant negotiation with morality, even if we don't share his dark passenger. He's a reflection of our hidden impulses, our rationalizations, and our endless search for meaning in a chaotic world. So if you've never seen Dexter Early Cuts, it's absolutely worth watching. They're short, haunting, and beautifully done, even by today's standards. You can find them all in a handy YouTube playlist online, and they serve as a brilliant companion to the main series. Whether you're a longtime fan or someone new to the franchise, they offer a rare glimpse into the early days of a killer who would go on to become one of television's most complex and enduring antiheroes. After nearly 2 decades, Dexter's shadow looms larger than ever. His story continues to evolve, twisting and transforming just like the man himself. From blood slides to comic panels, from web animation to streaming blockbusters, Dexter's legacy reminds us that monsters aren't born. They're made, one cut at a time. And maybe that's what keeps us coming back. That lingering question of whether we could ever understand or even forgive the darkness within.